Hey everyone, it's Wednesday the 10th of November. The time is 2:43 p.m. and the temperature is currently 9 degrees. We are at Pasila railway station, the second busiest railway station in Finland. And we're looking at the Tripla Mall, which is a new addition around here. I'm just letting people pass before I go to the escalators and walk through the Mall of Tripla. Today's plan is to look at the area that I think has kind of suffered from modern planning, and it's from the 60s and 70s. It's Eastern Pasila. We'll walk through that area and you can make up your mind of what you think of the architecture. I'll probably speak my mind too. We'll walk through there and make our way to Konepaja area, which is being developed at the moment. And we'll make our way to Sörnäinen if we can. So I'm going to make my way to the mall. The Tripla Mall, I think, is supposed to be the biggest commercial space in the Nordic countries. It has 250 shops, I think it says that online. I've only been here once before. And it also has 400 residential flats. And it's been built on top of the railway. This area used to be pretty much just the boring old station. And it's now kind of got a new lease of life. I'm not going to walk all through here, but we'll have a quick look as we walk inside. Certainly a lot more pleasant than it used to be, with bars and restaurants, shopping. But I'm going to make my way towards the perhaps a little less pleasant Itä-Pasila, through a bridge over here. Let's just have a look around before leaving the nice new shopping center. Like this. Doors will open, apparently not, so it's a little bit of a task. It's been a rainy day. So this is called Konepajansilta. Taking us to some of the offices around this area. I'm not sure if I want to go through here actually. Take this route. So we go, and here's the first look at the architecture around this area. It's from the 70s and 80s. And just taking my mask off. I think it's the perfect weather to visit this place as well. This area before the 70s used to be wooden buildings, but they got very run down. And what it was known for a while was cheap rents and crime. So in that sense, building these offices and residential buildings was an improvement. But it kind of goes to show that modern buildings don't always stand the test of time either. At least for me. It does now have some of the sort of best street art around Helsinki. We're now taking, I think, Junailijankuja. There's a street art center here. Here's just one example of what you'll find in this area. But in this fairly depressing weather as well, it's not very pleasant architecture. There's a statement on social media there in that painting. It's just like all of the lifts around this area and everything. It's just also grey, dark. There are some paintings below the bridges there. And since you cannot help the weather, the one thing you could do is maybe think about the architecture. For me, this has always been kind of I mean, look at those buildings. I don't want to say the ugliest area, because there is a plan behind all of this. It's just not necessarily the best plan. Crossing Asemapäällikön following these bridges here. The weather does play its part, so I think it's difficult for most places to look very pretty when it's grey and it's sort of really wintry weather. But I don't think this sort of concrete and the architecture is helping a lot here. The street art probably actually does help a bit. I think it seems really sort of fitting around here to have all of these. Here's a look at the residential area there. I think from here on we're getting out of the sort of worst area, at least for me. I don't have anything against the residential areas as such. So at least they haven't continued on with the similar themes. There's a dog park there, and I think these dogs have just spotted a friend who's walking right behind me. I think we are moving towards a much nicer area here as we make our way towards the train factory, Konepaja. So I always feel it's nice to see the results of that kind of development in a few years. Don't know how we'll look at the things we're building today. Hopefully we're doing a better job of it. Here's a cool residential building where the part of the building is kind of hanging off the edge. We can have a view towards one of the companies providing mobile services, Elisa. So the little park that we just crossed is Sähköttäjänpuisto. They're all sort of street names that have to do with trains around that area. And we're now walking towards the old train factory where from I think 1901 to the beginning of 2000 the government railways in Finland had their train factory. It's now been developed into a restaurant area, I think residential buildings as well. So we'll have a look at how that's going. There's even a tram line that started operating here a few years back. You can see that nice oldie looking building ahead there, which would be the train factory. I think there's a children's playground that's train themed as well over here. That's actually kind of cool. I think I'll get a little bit closer and I'll get a good view through there. But the red brick color kind of looks a lot nicer than the area we started in. Here's the playground. I quite like it. It's really fitting for the area with the sort of history it has with trains and railways.
It's nice that they're keeping something from the past. So Pasila is a central but northern district as well. And it's a transport hub, like we walked through the Tripla Mall. It's a very busy railway station. And most trains, I think, that leave Helsinki will stop there. And it's only in the past few years that the area is being developed as a, I guess, a place for people to go shopping with the Tripla Mall, so you don't have to even go to central Helsinki, and a residential area with the flats over the station and around the station, and also in the surrounding areas here. And then developments like Konepaja, the train factory. So I think the plan and hope is that with all these new residents, it will become an area in its own right, kind of. It will renew a little bit. There will be also skyscrapers near the station, so that will be something that will change how it currently looks fairly drastically. But it's already changing a lot from what it's been. So this is the train factory, Konepaja, being developed now. I feel like I'm kind of walking in the middle of the street there, although it seems to be a pedestrian way. And it is, at least from this point on. But there's a truck there, which makes you wonder. So this is very much being worked on. But there are some art spaces, for example, here, which I think it will be perfect for the restaurants and everything else that's being developed around here. It does have a pretty cool look. I think you can make it into a very wonderful place. Oh, bird fight. There's a theater here as well. And there is a beer house somewhere inside. actually is right here. I think we can have a peek in. And there's the container barber. That's a cool idea. So they're a little bit off the path of most people. Maybe if you go to the theater or have a pint, you can then visit here as well. Here is at least the sign, and this is the theater. Kansallisteatteri has their main site near the Helsinki railway station, of course. You can just imagine how this is going to turn into a very nice area. There's a bar, I think, attached to the theater site. Looks really nice. I think very fitting for this area. But you still have a lot that's just from the time it was a train factory. Still some work going on, of course. They've had some music, live music there as well. It looks a lot like, at least in these parts, it's closed. There's a small stage here. That would be quite nice if the weather was nice. You probably cannot see inside, but still very much looks like a factory around here as well. So I wonder if I can go around here. Probably not. I'm probably going to have to... Well, I might go through here. Let's just see what's on the other side. Don't really want to walk the same way again. Making my way towards the main street behind. Should be able to go through here. Let's just take a quick look. To where we came from. I think I'm going to cross here. Seems like a smart move. This is Teollisuuskatu. And I think there was some construction blocking the way. So if I had gone back, I would have ended up on the bridge. There is a moving company truck wanting to make a move, I think. Well, they see me. So interesting to see where they plan to go. Apparently back. Yeah, they are kind of backing up. Maybe to just make their way to that little street to join the traffic. And there's a coffee roastery over here. Fairly traditional site around here. It also smells like coffee, which is really lovely in this weather. This is a new place for me, which doesn't mean it hasn't been there for a while. That's a burger place. Almost looks like a diner to me. And this is the coffee roastery. And that's where we came from, through the train factory. That will be lovely once they finish developing it. This is also nice, although I think it's just their terrace for that company. Interesting choice from the car. Already going and then stopping. So we are on Sturenkatu. Now I'm wondering if I should have just gone straight there. It's not a bad street to go on. It wasn't exactly my route for today. Might just trace my steps back a little bit. I'm going to wait for the lights to change here. I've been pressed already, but it doesn't hurt to try again. The smell of coffee is really strong here. Here's a nice view. With newer and older buildings mixed in there. The sign here is Finland, their amusement park. It's right there behind the buildings. Might be able to see a flag behind there. There are quite a few cars that are making a turn here. Yeah, I'm not going to wait for all of them. It's just that they have to block the traffic, which is not ideal. There's a little bit of probably one of the tallest rides in Linnanmäki, which you can see there. Maybe it's there's kind of a fog here right now. It's also raining a little bit. There's the church in Kallio behind there. And I think that's what we're going to see of Linnanmäki today. I'm quickly going to get my umbrella just in case, and then I'll catch you after that little break. So we're back exactly where I left you. I'm going to take this little street to Porvoon Katu, Porvoo Street. oh, this is a very cool little place. Teemujärvi illustrations. Look at the illustrations there. That's cool. But anyway, I just got my umbrella, and I think the reason why people are mostly not using them right now is that it's fairly windy, and the rain is the kind of annoying drizzle that's not really enough for an umbrella, but still enough to be really annoying. So we're coming into a more traditional area now. Older houses. We are on Porvonkatu from Itäinen Brahenkatu. There's a heated football match going on. I think there was just a goal right now. A nice way to keep yourself warm this weather, although I don't know if kids really feel it like I do. And I think the rain has almost ended just as I got my umbrella. Doesn't really seem like I'd need it. Maybe best to keep it close by though. The weather's not exactly sunny today. Just click that to place. So as I make my way towards Sörnäinen, which is one of the places where a lot of the buses go through. You have an underground station. And which is also known as an area with a lot of kind of restaurants and bars that has I don't know, maybe clientele that likes to spend quite a lot of time there. At least it used to be an area like that. But of course, so many areas that used to have a reputation as a little bit shady are now turning into these really hipster areas. Look at this old style döner place. I guess it's a kebab place, but I think it looks really traditional and fun. It's on the rocks. Music place, which I think also has live music. And we take one of these things here. This is Junailijankuja. And I want to continue here. Maybe. Maybe I do. It's also an, I don't know, it's an antique place, so I guess you can say things that look a bit older. This area has private showers and massage places as well. And then quite a few bars, which are not by any means all associated with that reputation of being a bit shady. This pretty cool wall art. I am not tempted by that sound at all. We are now on Sturenkatu. That's a pretty cool way to get around town when you're delivering food. I hope I caught that. Don't know if I pointed it the right way. So here's Kallion B12, B12 I guess. Don't know that place. But you can just see how many places there are near Kallio, which has become a really hipster area. Oh, here's the Finnish Islam Center Foundation. And some of the places here are really quite cute. Look at this vegetarian place. So a lot of restaurants and food places as well. Places to get food, I should probably say. Food places sounds a bit weird. So I could take Harjukatu. Maybe I should. I'll at least cross here once the car has gone by. There's a really lovely looking hairdressers there. I didn't really figure out street route beforehand, so we're going to make it up as we go a little bit. My original plan when I sort of looked at it on map looked a little bit short for a walk like this. And I also want to end up where I can easily get a bus because the weather's not very good. So it's kind of a combination of those things. We might not end up exactly where I imagined. So is that a kindergarten museum? It says for the children, basically, here in this building. Looks like an older building. There's actually the sign for the underground now, so we are right where I said we'd end up. So I hope you enjoyed this walk from what I think is not the prettiest of areas in Eastern Pasila. Through Konepaja. And I guess Alppila. Here to Sörnäinen, which is one of the, I guess you could call it a transport hub as well, with the trams and buses and the underground here as well. And if you would like to see more walks like this, you can consider subscribing for the channel. And then you'll be notified when there are new videos published. It's definitely a noisier area here and kind of have to look around when you walk around with a camera. Probably the most you'd get in an afternoon like this is someone kind of having a loud conversation with you, but I'd rather not do that. There we go. This is leading towards city center in Helsinki. And then everything coming from Hämeentie over here. Here's the guy with that unicycle, I guess. I hope you enjoyed this walk. I'm glad you could join me today. And if you'd like to see more walks, please consider subscribing if that's something you want to do. It's really nice to have people joining and watching both the walks from Helsinki and from Finland, as well as the things I'm publishing from Singapore. Thanks for today, and I hope I'll see you again soon.